What's happening right now in Cuba is huge, and it will affect America.
The administration has done nothing to stop the flow of migrants across our southern border. Are we now about to see another migrant wave?
This is happening as the country is facing dire food shortages as well as basic necessities.
I just want to say I would 100% support people protesting against communist and socialist regimes. We know all throughout history that they don't work. Point blank, people will always be starving and it solves nothing. Unless you're Bernie Sanders.
It's unfair to simply say everything is bad. You know, when Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing?
Where's Bernie Sanders? Where is AOC and the squad? Their fellow socialists in Cuba are in revolt, not against the evils of capitalism, oh no, but the failure of socialism. And what have we got here? Silence from America's left. Think this through too. Bernie and the far left want to make America more like Cuba. But a lot of Cubans apparently want to be more like Americans.
Some of the Cuban protesters were also seen waving American flags.
It's been really funny to me to see the Biden administration so far not calling out the communist and socialist problems that have literally sunk these people.
Stand with the Cuban people and their clarion call for freedom and relief from the tragic grip of the pandemic. Notice he said that first. And then he says from the decades of repression and economic suffering.
The White House did not mention at any point communism.
They are trying to put the emphasis here, the Biden administration is, on COVID cases, deaths, and medical shortages, not necessarily talking as much about the socialism and communism aspects and the failure of that.
The president of Cuba came out to say that these protests are America's fault.
On Cuban television, Díaz-Canel blamed the protest on the U.S. and its trade embargo for a severe impact on Cuba's recent economic downturn.
And what did the liberal media say? Yes, they agreed with him. They agreed with the communist socialist dictator, and they said, yes, it is America's fault. But it's Trump's fault.
The Trump administration passed many more regulations, many more sanctions against it, which basically has cut off all income coming into Cuba.
So all the problems in Cuba going on right now, with everything that's going on, is Trump's fault. Does this kind of sound familiar to you guys? 2024, we might possibly have an election, and I don't know, everything has to be Trump's fault because heaven forbid he beats. And of course, Biden can't attack the socialist and communist principles running Cuba because then he would lose his voters and probably big tech. Did you hear about that lawsuit that's happening?
Our case will prove this censorship is unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and it's completely un-American.
You can actually join in on this lawsuit. Just go to Flecka's Instagram profile, link in bio, put your story in there. But meanwhile, let's pretend that socialism and communist-inspired propaganda actually works on all of our social media channels, where free speech is really limited. Not on every single social media platform, just the ones supported by big tech.
Oh my God, God! Oh my God!
Thank you for watching. Anyone who is protesting against socialism or communist governments, shout out to you. We support you, and prayers that all of those crazy ideals do not change America and influence us. We just have to keep our young people smart, you know, make them, I don't know, maybe not go to public school where they'll be indoctrinated. Anyways, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and I will see you next week.